Hey podcasters, Ryan Otto here. Before today's episode, I just want to let you all know that I've gone all in short letting on booking.com. Back in '05, the returns were good, but nothing like what we're achieving 14 years later. Because right now, every £1,000 of market rent I used to receive from a tenant is now returning £3,000 per month on the exact same rental property, which is a rental increase of 199%. My friends, if you leave a podcast review and tag me with it on any social platform, I'll send you a free copy of my rent arbitrage model, which is the unlock for you to do the same. And right now, guys, it's completely free. So yesterday, I published a video about a meeting that an agent, the biggest agent in this city, had or was having with their team, and their team was sitting down with their clients, all of their clients that are on their books right now, where they have empty or vacant student properties. I'm talking right now, at the end of October, okay, 30th of October right now. So the student season, semester, term has already started around the first week of September. And it's probably, nearly 8 weeks. And these student lets are still sitting empty. So I've already taken a deal from the agency. We've already got one over the line. They're happy. So now I've gone back to them. We've renegotiated a new deal where I was happy to look at all of the properties they have right now on their books that they haven't let, and it was around 18, and out of those 18 I chose quite a few that I really wanted, and we put offers in on many of them, and it turns out that I'm sitting outside the agent. So as a result of the great news, from the content I put out yesterday, the video, I was waiting for the great news from the meeting. And the meeting they had yesterday, one of the landlords has already confirmed. I've got the contract right now. It is the back of it. I'm not actually got to show you the front of it. I've got the contract right now, 2 copies here. I'm just about to go back into the agency and sign both of these with a wet signature. They've already been e-signed. I've already sent the funds, and literally just grab another set of keys. Now, just to run you through the numbers on this deal, okay, guys? So it's a 5-bed student house, originally probably a 3-bed end of terrace with a conservatory out the back. It's got a HMO license. It's now a 5-bedroom student property right near the university. Now, the agent had the property up, or the landlord has been successfully collecting £500 a room for the last, many years they've had this property. So 500 a room times 5, that's £2,500 a month, okay? It was up for £2,500. They brought it down a little bit because it hadn't rented. It's getting closer to the student semester starting. I'm talking about in the summer, around July or August. Then it came down again, then it came down again. So it's on the market at $2,000 right now. Now, with it being on at $2,000 a month, they've missed the student term. So the reality is it's likely that it will sit empty now for the rest of the year. Sorry, ambulance. I just pulled over outside here. So until around September next year. So on this particular property, instead of it sitting empty with the landlord, I've agreed, or the offer I put in was at their mortgage balance. So their monthly mortgage amount, you could say. So their monthly mortgage payment with insurance or buildings insurance, etc., came to just under £900. So what I agreed is a flat figure of £900 every single month. So £900 per calendar month, and a deposit of 4 weeks rent. So I'm paying £900 a month for this property. It's helping the landlord out because it would just sit vacant until September next year, okay? So I've agreed £900, and I've already rented this particular property to 5 students, so a group of students, for $425 a room, in total, that works out at 2125. So 2125, okay? And I've taken it in at 900 a month. So that gives me a net revenue or net profit every single month of £1,225. Okay, guys. Now, what have I done to get this deal? Or what have I done to get this deal over the line? Of course, I found an agent, or the agent actually found me, which I revealed in an earlier video that I did, how this agent called me. And I've already done a deal with the agent and one of their clients. They're completely happy. Our clients have already moved in. Another group of students, okay? That was 8. Group of 8 students moved in already. Because we have one over the line, it's opened the doors to more meetings for the owner or the agency to say, can you look at the rest of these properties? There was 18 in total that hadn't rented. Of course, I'm happy to look at them, because the other one that we got earlier was on the market for 4,200, and I actually got it down to 1,800 in the first year, 2,000 in the second year, and 2,250 in year 3. So that makes us around £34,000 over the 3 years, okay? And yeah, so because of that deal went through successfully, everybody's moved in. We're already on to the next one. So how I managed to let this property faster than, with all due respect, they are the best agent in the city, okay, guys? They've got the most amount of staff, the biggest team, the most aggressive team. I'm talking sales aggression. And I mean, they're renting at least 1 property a day, every single day. But they are the biggest. They've got a lot of properties. So yes, they're competing against themselves. So properties that are presented better, they're letting quicker. And some of the ones that they have, because they have the biggest portfolio and the largest team, obviously those are sitting empty, and those ones haven't managed to get let 7 weeks later. So they obviously want to do a deal to keep their clients happy, and for it not to be another, you know, they don't want it to sit on their books and be empty until September. So how I managed to let the property is another student property we've got has got a tenant in there who's now working for my company, okay? Now, that particular tenant has very, very good links. They're very well connected in the universities, in the particular job that they do, the role that they have. So, of course, when I understood this information and found out about their position at the university, it basically just, they're on my team now. So now they're on my team. So all I do is find the properties online that are available that we have or we get from agencies, send them the link so they can see the property. They go and do all the selling and find the group of 5 for this particular one. They previously found me a group of 8, and they do the viewings, they do the check-in, they release the keys. They basically do everything apart from the paperwork, and they find the right tenants, get them all signed up on guarantor forms and everything else that we give them. And I only actually pay £500, okay? So I'm paying £500 to one tenant in another property of ours that now works for me, to go and rent all of the student properties that we find in the city. And the last one they rented in 3 days. I was in Prague at my partner's christening, and during those 3 days that I was away, it was let that quick, okay? So they're finding groups or they're finding individuals and putting them all on one tenancy, okay? Now, even though I agreed £900 a month and we're getting 2,125, which is 1,225 net profit every single month, I still managed to negotiate a 21-day rent-free period for us to dress the property, style the property, change any furniture we might need to change, and do any maintenance work. It needs a little bit of TLC on, you know, to be fair, okay, or how we want it presented. It needs our handyman to go in there to do some TLC and a little bit of painting, which will enable us to rent the property quickly, much quicker than anything else that's on the market, and quicker than that property could have rented with the current agent, okay? So that's how we're turning these around a lot quicker. So I've still managed to agree a 21-day rent-free period. So I've actually sent all the money with the deposit, which was £1,730 today, 900 and 830, which is 4 weeks rent as a deposit, okay? So as you can imagine, we're renting these within about 2 weeks at the absolute most. The last one was 3 days. So I give my the person that works for me in the unit, I give them a fixed amount of time to rent this property to their tenants for them to get obviously the higher amount, the 500. If they rent it and it takes longer than the 14 days, that 500 goes down a little bit, okay? But I'm confident. They've got viewings lined up all across this weekend. I'm just about to collect the keys right now with the 2 agreements in front of me here, and it'll take my team 2 days, dressed, styled, furnished, photographed, and everything else, and handyman, so it's prepared, and the viewings on the weekend, and they'll move straight in. So if all goes well, and I'm confident it will, because it has done in the past, that will technically mean it's none of my own money, okay, for me to make £1,225 every single month, and the landlord to be happy, so it's solving their problem at the same time. So it's a case of I've put the money in now today, literally 2 hours ago, so I can come and collect the keys, and I'm confident that within 2 weeks, probably 1 week, I would imagine 1 weekend, or across 2 weekends but 1 week. It's Wednesday afternoon now, 4:30. 4:30? Yeah, Wednesday afternoon, 4:30. So I'd anticipate this weekend out the way with the viewings they have, and then next weekend at the latest with the viewings that they have, and across the week, the property will be let to a group of 5. So let's just say it's around, 7, 8, 9 days at the most that my money has gone in, and I'm going to get 4 weeks rent deposit back from the tenants, and which is the 4 weeks rent I've already paid, okay? And I'm also going to get, well, it's actually more, I'm also going to get 1 month's rent in advance from the tenants as well. So I'm actually going to collect more money in about 10 days than I've actually paid out right now to get into this particular property. So I'm always ahead from the start. So technically I've just bridged the money, which is my money for a week or 10 days, and I get that money back, which I paid, and I get more, so I'm actually into the deal for none of my own money, and you could say I've actually got some money back or some cash back. That's not what we're in, obviously, this business for. It's about another property in the portfolio for my team to look after, and it brings in £1,225 every single month till the end of the term, okay? So the ROI, well, you guys can work the ROI out on that. My money goes in within 10 days or so. I've got all of my money back, 100% of it, and quite a reason, a little bit more on top. And every single month it pays me £1,225, and I've already had all of my money out within the first 10 days. Okay, guys. So when you think about the risk, you might be thinking, what are the risks? Okay. Well, the risks are I'm paying 900. The property's worth 2,500 in a good climate, and I've reduced it to 2,125. Okay. Now, if the property doesn't let, obviously I'm stuck with paying £900. But let's say the property does let and the tenants don't pay me the rent. That's always a risk. Now, that's a risk for any landlord. And there is ways to mitigate that with licenses and different things, or getting a guarantor, which is what we get, or having the tenant pay or the student pay rent in advance. But normally a guarantor is enough security, or we can just give them a license, okay? So there's a few ways that we can minimize our risk. So right now, this is the second deal already with this one particular agent, and there was 18 properties in total that we looked at, and tomorrow I'm actually viewing another group of properties for the same deal. So right now, guys, if you're looking for a strategy, if you're scratching your head, trying to find where the new opportunities are, if you're listening on a podcast, or you're watching this on YouTube or on our LinkedIn page or anywhere else on social, you're probably hearing this on It's Just Business podcast. But wherever you're listening to this, if you're looking for that inspiration, that aha moment, you're trying to work out, or you're looking for the next or the new opportunities, what I would say to you guys is look for the angles. And the angle here is we're now at the end of October, okay? The student term started in September. If there's any student properties still on the market in the city you're in, or well, wherever you are in the UK, you can approach those agents, and once you've built a relationship with them, you can't just email them and say, this is on at 2,500, I'll take it at 900. They won't even reply. But when you've viewed it and you understand what I'm saying, you've watched some other content around how we're finding and getting and closing and negotiating and rapport building with the agents all around student properties right now, then you'll understand how you can just view the property, build the relationship with the agent, be realistic and justify your offer, and instead of the landlord leaving the property empty until, well, however long it may be until they found the next group of tenants, that's where you come along. That's where you add value. That's where you're taking all of the risk away from them and now onto you, for you to use the property as a, well, rent arbitrage or rent to rent or lease, however, whatever the terminology is these days. But the last 15 years, it's the same thing for us. It's just straight rent arbitrage. We pay one price, we have a contract, enables us to issue another contract to our clients, and we pay or we collect a much higher rate. Okay, guys? So if you're looking for that inspiration, you're looking for the latest opportunity or where the new opportunity is, you need to think differently about where these opportunities lie. And right now, we're finding a lot of student properties just because it's working right now in the market. If you leave it too long, it's too late. Right now is the right time where the student semester has started. There's landlords scratching their heads and agents scratching their heads because they haven't got enough students coming over or starting, or they're already there in their properties and they've got vacant student properties. I hope you get some value from this video. I would love to hear your thoughts below. If you've got any questions about anything we covered on this video, vlog, if you see it on YouTube or you're listening on It's Just Business podcast on iTunes or anywhere else, just leave a comment below on any of my social and I'll answer your questions about this. All right? Bye-bye. So super excited before I go. I'm going in right now with these two contracts to sign them and collect the keys, and it's another £1,225 every single month that comes in from this one property that was actually none of my own money. Hey podcasters, thanks for listening. Please go ahead and share the podcast with your friends, and if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe so I can instantly deliver my best business tactics and entrepreneurial content to you the second it's released. Does that sound like a good deal?